Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AI Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with the next part of What If Naruto was an abandoned demon lord. Well, guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying this series as there are many people telling me that I should upload the next part as quick as possible. So, today I have decided to upload the next part of this series. So, I hope that you guys will enjoy it. And for the next part, the goal is going to be 200 likes, and for the comment goal, it is going to be 180 comments. Do that, and I shall upload the next part as quick as possible. So yeah guys, without any further ado, but before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to this channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It will really help me a lot as I want to reach 10k as quick as possible, so it will be a great journey. So I hope that I will be able to reach at least 8k at the end of this month. So yeah guys, please support me on that. I'm quite near to 8k. Only I think 80 or 70 subscribers are left. So yeah guys, do that. So, without any further ado, let us start our video. Last time, we left off as we saw that how Naruto along with Team 7 and Team 13 of Kushina went to the mission of Zabuza arc, in which there was no Zabuza because in the previous missions when Naruto was the demon lord as an Ambu under the command of third Hokage, he was able to kill off Zabuza but let Haku live as Haku was filled with hatred. So he started to train day and night, was finally able to reach an S rank shinobi, even able to take on Kushina Uzumaki, who was known as the Red Death, and keeping up with her, as well as sealing away Menman Mito Chakra, but in the end, her luck ran out and the demon lord himself arrived, though Naruto played with him a little bit, but then finally ending him with a meteor launching on him. Though he, you can say, smaller the size of the meteor, though it could be far larger than even Madara's two meteors combined, but still, Naruto just wanted to give him a bit of honor for his hard work. So, he gave a C rank spell under his arsenal, though a lot weaker version of it, but still C rank, and then blow Haku off. As finally Haku was dead, as everyone was watching in utter shock, as after that, Gato arrived. Naruto used Amatera's Flames Fireball Jutsu and finally finishes off Gato along with all of his companions, as all the villagers were watching this in awe. As now, let us start our video from here on. As Naruto was announced as the hero of the Wave Country, though Naruto had to, you can say, change a bit of memory of Kushina, though as she would have asked a lot of questions about the power, and who knows, it could have revealed his identity as the Demon Lord, though he wanted to avoid that for a little bit at least, as he simply changed a bit of memory of Kushina, but still Kushina remembered that Naruto was the one who killed off Haku along with the other missing nin known as Ramin, as an S rank missing nin, as she was pretty impressed by Naruto's skill, but she thought that Kakashi must have helped Naruto as well. Though Naruto landed the last blow, so that was she was pretty proud of her son. Though she missed that and you can say regret that not taking Naruto on the training trip with them. If Naruto can learn so much on his own, then under their guidance he would have been even stronger than this. But right now she has two children to take care of, Manman Mito, who were knocked out thanks to the ice clones of Haku, as well as Sasuke, who was pretty, you can say, beaten badly after Sasuke demanded that Haku remove his mask and submit to him. After all, he was an Uchiha elite, as Haku almost broke all of his ribs, as well as almost bring his eyes out. But in the nick of time, Sasuke was able to, you can say, got knocked out. So Haku had other things to deal with. Otherwise, Sasuke would have lost his Sharingan. While on the other hand, you can say Sakura was glaring at nothing, thinking that Haku would be burned from her glare and her Sasuke-kun would be impressed. As in the end, the mission was completed, and now Team 7 has finally arrived back, as well as Team 13. While on the way, Menman Mito was simply glaring at Naruto, as well as Sasuke was also glaring. How dare the dope got the kill? I should have been the one, I, an Uchiha elite. As Menman Mito were also pretty angry about the situation, as he said, if I used my true power, I would have easily won the battle. As while on the other hand, Naruto was talking with Kakashi, as Kakashi said, well in this battle, I must realize, Naruto, as I have gone a bit weaker, though my skills are up par with any S-rank shinobi, but still, my chakra reserves are pretty low. As Naruto shrugged it off, well, you have to train a lot, though you could have trained with me. But my going rates, you already know it. As Kakashi sighed, well, to be honest, I was saving money from the Ambu times. Though, it seemed that I have to use all of it, so that you can train me. As Naruto said, join the gang. Shisui and Itachi will be so happy. As Kakashi sighed, knowing that his bad time is coming. As Already seeing Itachi and Shisui going, you can say, after the training sessions and how much blood most of them, both of them had on their clothes at least. Though Naruto healed them and at least 5 times a day so that they can train a lot. As Kakashi sighed at that, knowing that his days are actually coming. As now they finally arrived, as Kushina started to give the report, as Tsunade was also there giving some reports here and there. After all, she was the mother of Okage. As Jiraiya just popped in to the room, wanted to learn how great Menma and Mito must have done on this A-Night mission, already hearing that some missing nin must have arrived. As he said, so Kushina, how did my godson and goddaughter has did in this mission? I'm pretty sure that they would be easily able to handle and complete the mission. I was telling Minato that there was no need to send another team like Kakashi there. So tell me, how did I do, huh? With a huge smile on his face. As Tsunade was also wondering, after all, they had trained Menman Mito for years now. As Kushina sighed and said, well, Minato, I have something to discuss with you. It seems that Menman Mito has completely discarded all of our training, everything we have taught them. As Minato raised an eyebrow, as both a shocked look was on Tsunade as well as Jiraiya, as Minato said, what do you mean by that, Kushina? As Kushina sighed, as he said, well, in the beginning, when we encountered that masked shinobi, whose name was Haku, later revealed, and he was an apprentice of Zabuza. But it seemed that Zabuza died and he must have taken his sword and all the training, and he had finally become an S-rank missing nin. Though he was pretty strong, I must say that. Though, in the end, Menman Mito tried to use the 9th chakra when they were surrounded, but he simply blocked the chakra and both of them got knocked out. As Jiraiya said, yeah, it must be some 5 tetragram seal. As Kushina said, that is not all. And later in encounter, I told them that they could have used the Flying Raijin or the Rasengan or at least the Chakra Chains or the Moketon, but they refused it. And in their second battle, they were able to pull out one tail from them and they were simply launching at the guy who was simply playing with them, jumping from mirror to mirror, thanks to his Keike Genkai of art style. I told them that if they used the Flying Raijin or even the Rasengan, they could have easily destroyed the mirror, but they were hell-bent on using the Ninetales power, saying that it is a power that which made them the child of prophecy. By glaring at Jiraiya a little, as Minato said, what? They are not using the techniques we have taught them. What is the meaning of this? As Tsunade said, yeah, I even taught Mito a bit of my super strength. She could have easily broke through those dome or mirrors. What are you talking about? As Kushina sighed, it seemed that that power must have gone to their head. I think that for some time we should seal away the power of the Nine Tails so that they can train on their normal things. As Jiraiya said, what? What are you talking about, Kushina? We cannot do that. They need the power. As turning to say, but before he could complete the sentence, as Kushina said, yeah, save the world. From what, Jiraiya? There is no threat at the moment in the whole world. There's no war going on, or there is nothing like Madara or Hashirama roaming around here. As Jiraiya was, you can say, out of words. As Kushina sighed, and with the attitude they have, they cannot even mess with their own team, and you are saying that they are going to unite the whole world? As Jiraiya was about to argue about it as Minato speaker. Well, I have to agree with Kushina here, Jiraiya sensei. As Tsunade said, you too, Minato? As Minato sighed, well, I was watching their attitude, and it seemed that even if they are Genins, they are way too arrogant. But it seemed that they are relying on Nante's power too much. You know that their coils will be pretty disturbed by the usage of Ninetales power overflow. I will talk to both of them. Let's see what can we do. If they're truly the child of prophecy, we have already done more than enough teaching them our best techniques and everything we could. But in the end, if they decide to discard it, then it would be a shame. As then he looked towards Kushina and said, alright Kushina, I will talk to both of them. As after saying that, as Jiraiya as well as Tsunade left off, as Minato looked towards Kushina. So Kushina, so how did the mission go? I hope that it was not that difficult. As Kushina sighed, well, it seemed that Naruto was the one who was able to take down that masked shinobi, though I must say, I was struggling against him. As Minato laughed, well, it could have, you can say, all the training we were giving Man Mito, your skills must have gone a bit sloppy. As Kushina said, huh, as if you're any better, Minato. As both of them laughed, and then a serious expression came to Minato's face and said, well, Kushina, I have to tell you something. As Kushina said, and what would that be? As Minato sighed and said, well, I think that it was the good decision that Man Mito are not chosen as the heir to the Namikaze Uzumaki or the Senju clan. While on the, you can say, outside of the door, Menma was about to open the door as well as Mito when they heard it. As then Kushina said, what, Minato? But I thought that you wanted them to take the title. As Minato sighed and said, well, Before going to this mission, I trained with Naruto, and I must say that he's a prodigy among prodigies. As Kushina raised an eyebrow, what do you mean by that? As he said, well, it's pretty simple. I showed him the Rasengan, and even me giving the steps, he was able to make the Rasengan within mere seconds. As Kushina's eyes widened, even she cannot make the Rasengan, her husband's signature move, and how difficult it actually was for Menma and Mito. It took them several shadow clones and months of training to just make the Rasengan with shadow clones. As Kushina said, what? He made the Rasengan in seconds? As Minato said, and not only that, he was able to add chakra natures, all 5 chakra natures to it, which was pretty impressive in its own for having all 5 chakra natures, but he was able to add it to Rasengan. Even I cannot do it, and all of this time, you were left. I was training with my shadow clones and everything, but it was way too difficult and I was barely able to add some of the lightning chakra to the Rasengan, and even right now, I'm not perfect. As Kushina gasped at that, and not only that, the things you are telling me, it seems that Menma and Mito are not level-headed enough. Though they have to do a lot of work, otherwise it would be pretty troublesome for them. And it seems that Naruto is the right heir at the moment, as according because he's a prodigy. Not only that, he's pretty level-headed and he will be able to take care of everything in the future. As for Man Man Mito, at the moment, Naruto was right. They do not deserve the title of the clan heir of the either of the clan. At least not right now. As Kushina sighed, well, I think the same thing, Minato. It seems that we have spoiled both of them way too much. As Minato sighed about it. As I said, well, to be honest, I'm pretty happy that Naruto did not put it against us that we left him to train Man Man Mito, though he did not even talk about it, not even a word. As Kushina sighed, yeah, Minato. I was also wondering the same thing. Though all the training we gave Man Mito is not paying off, which is truly a letdown. As both of them sigh at that, while on the other hand, Man Mito were hearing all of this as pure rage was inside of them. How dare it is all because of that damn demon. As both of them were simply had anger in their eyes as they wanted to kill that brat, nothing more than that, as they gritted their teeth and went off. And now we have a time skip as Kakashi was along with Itachi and Shisui was slammed into several boulders as Itachi said, damn it. I just bought this dress as he looked back to see all of his shirt and pant almost tore off and several injuries on his body as the one who was worse was none other than Kakashi, who had the least chakra among all of them, as he was simply slammed into several trees, and his Jonin vest was completely destroyed, while on the other hand Shisui was, you can say, trying to run off a laser beam that was still following him as he was using his, you can say, Chunin all over and over again, trying to increase the speed and dodge the attack, but it was always hurting him, not piercing through his body, just scratching him over and over again. And it was hurting like damn, as Naruto was simply, you can say, eating popcorns while all 3 of them were fighting one of his shadow clone. As Naruto said, well, I hope that I'm getting a lot of money out of this at least. As Itachi finally came as he used a great fireball jutsu as it was a big fireball which was rushing towards the shadow clone, who simply put a hand towards it and then flipped the finger, and then the fireball simply extinguished, and then a wave of wind hit Itachi, sending him flying, but in the least time he was able to activate his Susanoo, but it cracked under the pressure as he was slammed into the trees. As Kakashi said Kamui as he tried to use the Kamui on the shadow clone, but then suddenly, Naruto's shadow clone simply vanished from the area, appearing in front of Kakashi and headbutting him on his face as Itachi was sent flying. As Naruto said, well, that's good training for today. Come here, allow me to heal you guys, as all of them nodded on that as Shadow Clone simply dispersed as energy released from the clone and then went inside of Shisui, Itachi and Kakashi as all 3 of them got healed on that. As Kakashi said, whew, well, that was great training, as he was on the ground. He could already feel in this 1 week of training, his chakra reserves has increased a lot, as right now he has, you can say, zero point 0.5 more chakra than he had previously. Half of the chakra that he had previously has increased. As he said, well, now I can use Sharingan a bit more. As both Itachi and Shisui nodded, as Shisui said, well, it seems that the Chunin exams are coming, sensei. So what are you going to do? As Naruto simply shrugged, well, I was waiting for it. To be honest, I'm pretty bored of being a Genin and all. It would give me an opportunity. Though, I think that I will be able to promote to a Jonin after showing my skills in these exams. As Itachi nodded, of course, You are far stronger than that of a Jonin. At least you're at least a Kage level shinobi. As Naruto only laughed. Huh, don't underestimate you. Self, Itachi, you're also pretty strong. If I must say that, even the fourth Hokage would have trouble with you, fighting you head on. As Itachi laughed it out and said, well, you're humble on that. Well, good luck in the exams. But I doubt you're going to need it. As Naruto laughed, well, someone who needs the luck is your little brother Itachi. As Itachi sighed, already hearing about his little brother and all, that how much arrogant he is. As Naruto said, quite an Uchiha elite he is. As Itachi sighed, as Shisui laughed it off. As Naruto said, well, he was trying to grab the book from Kakashi, thinking that it has some secrets, techniques, as well as the secret how to become strong shinobi, as even tried to grab it from me and tried to attack me. As Itachi said, what book? As then he paled after Itachi, you can say Kakashi showed him the book Ichichi Paradise as he said, you take that away from my little brother by activating his Sharingan towards Kakashi, who gulped and said, of course, Itachi, but I think that he's not going to give up. Though I can save my Ichichi Paradise by hugging the book tightly. But for Naruto, as Naruto said, I will burn him with a Mataras if he ever tried to touch my book by in a protective manner, keeping the book to his chest as Itachi gulped, knowing that his brother at least he should let this you can say thought of getting this book off in his mind as Shisui was laughing and rolling to the ground as Itachi, whose eyes was twitching at him at the behavior of his friend as he said, well, I will talk with Itachi. I will talk with Sasuke. After saying that, he simply said, alright sensei, see you soon. As he simply melt into the air as Shisui also nodded and then went, you can say, into the butterflies all around. As Kakashi said, I'm going to learn how to do that. As Naruto said, yeah, right now you have some money to give it to me. As Naruto pointed towards Kakashi, who gulped and said, right now I have some things to buy, sensei. You know, some necessaries, so I was thinking you can have it some other time. But before he could say, as Naruto already was walking away, as Kakashi thinking that he has finally forgotten. But then he pointed as he tried to grab his wallet, but his eyes widened when his wallet was completely empty as he looked towards his sensei who was counting the money. And after said, it's complete. Well, I will take the extra bonus. Thanks for it, sensei. After saying that, he melted into the air as Kakashi said, no! As he let out a scream. As now we have a time skip. As Kakashi was standing in front of Sakura, who was, as usual, looking towards Sasuke with hearts in her eyes, as Kakashi was now said, I don't know if I like this, but I have to do this. As he looked towards Naruto, who was looking towards Kakashi a bit bored, as he said, what do you want, Kakashi sensei? As Kakashi laughed inwardly, me, sensei, You're the one here. As he looked towards Naruto and said, well, I've decided to roll this team into the Chunin exams. At this, Sasuke looked towards Kakashi. Chunin exams, what are those? As Kakashi started to explain, well, these are tests in which all the shinobis from different nations will also arrive to this village, and then all the tests will happen. Those who will impress the proctors in the final exam and will be able to reach that level, they will be promoted to Chunins, and those who not, well, they have to try some other time. As Sasuke smirked, well, of course I'm going to promote to the Chunin. After all, I'm an Uchiha elite. As Kakashi said, alright, I have enough of this. As that, take these papers and if you do agree, sign them and submit them, and that is all. As after explaining things, he simply sent him away, leaving them both. As right now he has some Ichichi Paradise to read. As Sasuke smirked at that and said, it seems that I'm going to promote to the Chunin. Too bad. Someone as weak as you, dope, cannot promote. But I hope that you will not bring us down. As Naruto was looking towards his book, as ignoring Sasuke completely, as Skull came to Sasuke's face, as he said, hey, don't ignore me, you dope. As Naruto looked towards him, did you say something, Sasuke? As Sakura said, don't ignore Sasuke-kun, as she tried to punch Naruto, who simply, you can say, backhanded her into Sasuke, as both of them simply sent flying to the, you can say, rolling to the trees all over. As Naruto said, well, that was pathetic. After saying that, he simply vanished. While on the other hand, a person was watching all of this, none other than Itachi, who was sighing at the attitude of his little brother and that fangirl all over, saying that his sensei is weak, quite a joke. As now we have a time skip of the, you can say, Chunin exams. As Sasuke was looking towards Lee with an arrogant look on his face. Now it's about time that I show you the greatness of the Uchiha clan. And there's no one who's stronger than us. We are the Uchiha's elite. As he activated his Sharingan rushing towards Lee. And after 1 minute, Sasuke was slammed to the you can say wall nearby and had you can say several bruises all over his body as Lee had simply pummeled him to the ground. As Naruto was simply looking towards his teammate with a blank expression on his face, thinking that how the hell this brat is actually the brother of someone like Itachi to begin with. As then he looked towards, you can say, Lee, who was looking towards Naruto. Well, Naruto-san, I believe that now it's about time for our little battle. As Naruto only simply struck, as Lee said, here I come, as he rushed towards Naruto with blinding speed to the most of the Ganins. As he was about to, you can say, kick Naruto from the opposite side, but Naruto moved in a slow motion. As Lee's eyes widened, as Naruto simply dodged the attack like he was simply ignoring him. As the Lee once again vanished and appeared in front of Naruto as Lee's eyes widened when all of his attacks, like Naruto was not even moving from the place, but he was still dodging all the attacks like nothing, as if he was a projectile and not the original body, and he was hitting the air all over. As Naruto finally had enough of this, as he pointed towards Lee's forehead and said, better luck next time, Lee-san, as he simply touched Lee on his forehead as Lee was sent flying with blinding speed. Even the Byakugan, which Neji had activated, wanted to see this battle, and he was also pretty intrigued by the movements, wanted to see if this is some kind of jutsu or something like that, but he knew it was pure speed as Lee was slammed into the wall with a great speed, making cracks all over it. As Naruto said, alright, come, Sakura. As Sakura was, you can say, trying to wake Sasuke up, but Sasuke was able to wake up in time as he said, what happened? As Sakura said, that Lee Baka must have done something to you, must Sasuke-kun? As Sasuke said, yeah, it must be the case. As he stood up, glaring at Lee, as who was already taken by his, you can say, team and all. As Sasuke also entered, and then Kabuto arrived, and things started to happen and all. As then Sasuke said, alright, I want the information on Rock Lee, Gaara of the Sand, and Uzumaki, Namikaze, Senju, Naruto, by glaring at Naruto and spitting at the name of Senju. As then Kabuto nodded and said, of course, Uchiha-san, as they released the card, Lee-san, he's a Ganin of Might Guy, and has been a Ganin for some time, and his Taijutsu skills are so far the greatest in Konoha, as in Ganin and even Chunin rank, he's pretty powerful, but he cannot use any Genjutsu, Ninjutsu, or any other jutsu other than the Taijutsu. That's the main reason he's pretty strong. As Sasuke said, I already knew it, I'm an Uchiha elite. He used that dirty trick on me, that's the only reason he won. As then he looked towards Kabuto and said, what about God of the Sand? As he said, as he gave the report, well, everyone shivered at the, you can say, explanation which Kabuto gave them. After that, it was finally time for Naruto. As he said, Naruto Uzumaki Senju, As he released the card and said, according to the information, Naruto is the heir to the three most powerful clans in Konoha, as named by Senju, Namikaze, and Uzumaki. He is also known as the Prince of Whirlpool Village and has inherited all the property as well as the money and the land of Whirlpool. As Sasuke was now glaring at Naruto, it seemed that a dope has surpassed him not only in physical powers but also in some other status as he gritted his teeth. And not only that, he is known to be the strongest Genin in his age group and also has fought, you can say, the apprentice of Zabuza Momochi, who was seemed to be an S-rank missing nin, and also fight off against Ramin of the Cloud. At this, a girl looked towards Naruto, as this was none other than Yujiro, as the Jinchuriki of the two-tailed cat, as this was the team from the Cloud village who has also arrived and has seen the blonde but did not bother with him, as while on the other hand, Naruto simply was looking towards them blankly as he said, so less information, so much for the spy master, as already figuring out who this guy actually is and already pointing towards a guy who was looking like a snake and all, already figuring out that it must be Orochimaru, though it would be fun if we play with him in the Forest of Death, as everyone was now looking towards Naruto fighting off against S-rank shinobis, as Sasuke grated his teeth and said he was not the only one there, I was there as well. As Kabuto said, well, I do not know the exact mission details, but it was the mission details written in the report, and it did say that you got knocked out by the ice clone of the same person which you fight off against. As Sasuke graded his state on that, as Sakura said, "How dare you to say something like this to my Sasuke-gun?" As Kabuto said, well, I'm sorry. As Sakura said, "Yeah, you should be sorry. My Sasuke-kun is the best." As after looking towards Sasuke and all, with hearts in her eyes, as Sasuke, being Sasuke, as was now looking towards the ground, glaring at the ground, thinking that how dare this ground to be under his foot. It does not deserve to be under the foot of an Uchiha elite. As now let the test begin. Though this test was pretty easy, Sakura being Sakura, Sasuke being Sasuke using the Sharingan, as Naruto was simply looking towards Ibiki in a staring contest, as thinking that who will blink first. As after some time, Ibiki sighed as he looked around and started to look all around the place. But still, seeing the small killer intent as well as you can say gaze of Naruto Uzumaki on him, at this he already started to sweat. As he sighed at that and tried to make contact once again, looking at the kid who was now staring at him all the time. At this, Ibiki unknowingly shivered a little, wondering who this kid actually is. As and the blank expression on his face and all. As now, let us go. As the exam finally ended, as Ibiki said, "Alright, it's about time for the 10th question." As many of the teams still left and those type of thing. And after the mission is completed, as them, Naruto paper as Ibiki grabbed the paper and then he looked around the paper and he chuckled as he started to laugh and burst into laughter and said, "Ha, it seems that I passed someone who did not even answer a single question." As as he sighed, Uzumaki Namakaze Senju, Naruto. Pretty interesting you are. It seems that you already knew that. It does not matter what happened. You would have already passed. Pretty confident. Let's see how you survive the Anko test. As Anko was looking towards the kids and you can say was ready to torture them. As she said, "Well, it's about time, Nuggets. Why don't you sign this paper? If you guys die, then you die. Who cares?" As giving all of them papers, some of them shiver and some of them were ready. So let's start the battle. As they were able to get the scroll as I want to skip that, and now everyone was looking towards Sasuke was now glaring as well as being pretty scared of the snake lady standing in front of him. Sakura, being Sakura, was also pretty scared, while on the other hand Naruto was away fighting off against the snake. As then Orochimaru was simply smirking at that. It seemed that I got the Uchiha already. Well, it's pretty good. As he licked his lips and said, "Now show me the power of an Uchiha." As Sasuke gritted his teeth, "Alright, you want me to show you the power? I will show you the power of an Uchiha elite." As he quickly go through hands and fast style, Phoenix Flower Chusu. As our Phoenix Flower rushed towards Orochimaru, who jumped out of the way. As then Sakura started to throw kunais. As Orochimaru looked towards her, useless. As he simply sent a snake after her as Sakura screamed and started to run away from the snake. A snake was a normal snake, nothing special, even the civilians could kill it. As Orochimaru sweat dropped on that, I should have guessed, the fangirl. As he looked towards Sasuke, who was rushing towards him, and started to attack Orochimaru, who was now dodging as well as weaving through, you can say, all the attacks of Sasuke. Not bad, Sasuke-kun, but you have to do better than that. After saying that, he kicked Sasuke away, and then wrapped his neck all around Sasuke, as Sasuke was shivering, and then suddenly, you can say, Orochimaru started to lick his face with his tongue and all, as Sasuke was shivering as Naruto arrived after destroying the snake. As he looked at the scene, as he almost burst into the laughter, but it was stopped when Orochimaru, you can say, placed his teeth to the neck of Sasuke, giving him the curse mark, as Sasuke was screaming in pure pain, and finally got knocked out. As then, Orochimaru was about to leave, but then suddenly, you can say several, he could see the wind spikes were trying to cut him off into pieces as he moved, jumped out of the way. As then, Naruto landed beside him and said, well, it's nice to see you, Orochimaru-san." As Orochimaru's eyes widened and said, as he smirked, "So what gives it away, And who you might be?" As Naruto looked towards him, as then Orochimaru smirked, already knowing the kid, as he said, "It's been a while, Naruto-san." As Naruto looked towards Orochimaru, "It seems that you have gone rogue." As though I already knew it. "So, what are you doing here?" As Orochimaru chuckled and said, "Well, I remember the day when your family abandoned you and left you at this village, though I was there, but it doesn't matter either way. As I'm here to get, you can say, the Uchiha." As Naruto looked towards the mark, I can sense your soul fragment in the mark. So, Mind telling me what that is? As Orochimaru's eyes widen, as he said, and how do you know that? That Marth has my soul fragment. While inside, he was cursing. Not even Jiraiya or Fourth Hokage was able to figure out the main purpose of the seal, as Orochimaru put his soul fragment into it so that he can take over the bodies. When time arrived, they only thought that it corrupts a body, but no, this kid was able to figure out. But how? How is that is even possible? As Orochimaru was inwardly cursing, but still had a smirk on his face. As Naruto smirked back, you did show me a great show here after you beat the Uchiha. But so that's the main reason. I'm going to let you leave from here. You can take your leave, Orochimaru-san. But next time we will meet, you will see the power and the horror that will fall upon you. As Orochimaru chuckled as he laughed, burst into laughter and said, "Well, Naruto-san, in time you should have gone arrogant. Though I wonder what could have changed. Last time I checked, your family abandoned you, thinking that you were a worthless thing, not even worthy of giving any training whatsoever." But Naruto simply ignoring him, as he said, as he pointed towards the small snake who was still scaring Sakura, who was hugging the tree for the dear life, as Naruto burned the snake into ashes, as he said, "Hey, gorilla, come here." As Sakura scoffed, "How dare you to call me that, you dope?" As she tried to punch Naruto, as he grabbed the punch, as he said, "Sakura, I've already taught you many lessons, but you never understand them. Right now, if I punch you away, this time I will not hold back, and I will change the map of your face, and your Sasuke-kun will never love you." After hearing that, Sakura paled, as Naruto said, "Grab Sasuke and run away. I will handle things here." As Sakura looked towards her dear Sasuke-kun, as she grabbed Sasuke, "Yeah, I will do that." As she grabbed Sasuke and started to run away, as Orochimaru said, well, that was interesting. So, would you like to play with me as well, Naruto-san?" As he smirked at that, as Naruto said, "If you like to play, then so be it, Orochimaru. But don't say that I did not warn you before." As he looked towards Orochimaru and smirked, as Orochimaru chuckled and said, well, the Uchiha is not my only target. I also want to know about someone going by the name of the Demon Lord. Would you happen to know the guy?" As originally Orochimaru did not knew the Demon Lord who actually was, as his spy was never able to get any information on him. As this guy pretty intrigued Orochimaru hearing about the feats of this guy. As Naruto shrugged, who knows? It could be me, or it could be anyone. As Orochimaru said, alright, Naruto-san, we shall see about it. As he rushed towards Naruto, ready to play. After all, he has plenty of time in the forest of that. But to his surprise, Naruto simply did not move. But then, Orochimaru's eyes widened as he started to leap away. But it was already too late, as a dome of immense power and, you can say, burning air rushed towards him as Orochimaru tried to run away. To his utter horror, it was hot wind, as it was cutting things and as well as burning them to the ashes. As Orochimaru tried to leap away, but it was too late. Half of his body was already enveloped in it. As he quickly used the substitution jutsu and went far away. As the dome finally ended, and all that left was nothing but ashes all around. As Naruto said, so you dodged it in the nick of time. It seems that your body can tolerate many things. Looking towards Orochimaru, who was half of his body, lower half was disintegrated into nothingness. Orochimaru opened his mouth wide open, and then another Orochimaru started to weep out of it. As Naruto said, disgusting. As Orochimaru gritted his teeth, what was that jutsu? But he was pretty intrigued about the jutsu and all. After all, he wants to learn all the jutsus in the world and do type of things. As Naruto, you can say, smirked at Orochimaru and said, alright, Sanin, bring it on. I want to see how strong you actually are. As Orochimaru chuckled and said, alright, Naruto-kun. Though I'm pretty intrigued about that jutsu, but it could be your Kage Genkai. I heard about it. But though, it does not matter. As you quickly go through handside, wind style, Gale Palm. As if Gale Palm rushed towards Naruto, as Naruto only scoffed, as he, you can say, slapped the Gale Palm away like it was nothing. As Naruto said, don't play with me. And next time you send a pathetic jutsu like that towards me, I will turn you into ashes. By glaring at Orochimaru, who for a moment shivered and said, it seems that you're pretty intriguing, Naruto-san. Alright, you asked for it. As he rushed towards Naruto in his taijutsu, ready to wrap around his neck. After all, he would like to have the body of the Senju as well, if he can help it. But it no avail, as Naruto easily dodged the attack. But okay guys, here I will leave this part right now. I have some work to do as it has just arrived here. As In the next part, I will cover all the fiber of Orochimaru and try to, you can say, increase the video duration as well, about 40 minutes or who knows, even 50 minutes. So right now I have some work to do. So yeah, guys, for the next part, you guys already know the like goal as well as the comment goal. Complete that and I shall upload the next part as quick as possible. So yeah, guys, take care and peace.